Hey gang, Todd here, and I'm gonna go see Jurassic World Rebirth. I know what you're thinking. Why would you go see that? You really didn't like the last Jurassic. That's true. I did not. But it's got Scarlett Johansson. Black Widow fighting dinosaurs? I'm in. So I'll tell you what I think afterwards. Well, that was pretty good. Probably the best one since maybe two, Jurassic Park 2. Um, they did something I thought was really intelligent. Uh, since the interim between the last one and this one, dinosaurs have been dying because our weather does not suit them as a species. And so what remains have all congregated around islands in the equator. That's the warmest spot on the earth, and it's got the most oxygen. Anyway, we start at a lab where they're doing cross breeding and mutation of dinosaurs. And thanks to a non-observant, or I should say idiot, a Snickers wrapper shorts out the computer system and releases this giant mutant. Jump 20 years later, and dinosaurs are all congregating around the equator because, like I said before. And Scarlett Johansson plays a mercenary who is hired by a pharmaceutical company. They found that dinosaurs, especially very large dinosaurs with large hearts, they can use samples of their DNA to make a drug that will help stave off heart disease. So they get a paleontologist to go with them, and she puts a crew together, and they head off. Also picking up a family that was doing a sailing voyage on a sailboat from Corpus Christi, I think, said to Cape Town, and they weren't really near where the dinosaurs usually are, but one was, I guess, scouting out farther and knocked their boat over. So the captain, not the guy that represents the pharmaceutical company, the captain decides he's not going to let people just float around when he's picked up a mayday. So they pick them up, and they head to the island where, dinosaurs wreck their boat. They get separated, so you've got two different groups. One is the family trying to make their way to what the pharmaceutical guy said was a village that was there. And the other one, they're going to collect their samples and then head to the village, which is actually the lab that we saw at the beginning. I like that they give you a lot of backstory on the characters, not all at once. It gets dribbed out a bit, especially with Scarlett Johansson and the other members of the crew. And you see the relationship between the paleontologist and Scarlett Johansson evolve naturally. And you get in the ethical balance of what they're doing, where paleontologist makes the rather obvious conclusion that when the company makes this life-saving medicine, they're going to price it so hard that only rich people, like the guy running the operation, are the only ones going to be able to afford it. So, ethical dilemma there. I love Scarlett's reply when he says, "You know, we could just give it to the world." She says, "I don't see how to make money on that." Well, you don't. Oh, that is a downside, isn't it? A lot of good repartee between them. They have a real good back and forth. Sometimes joking, sometimes serious, which I kind of like. A lot of good action. The family has a really scary encounter with a tenacious T-Rex. And they discover a temple, which they don't really go into much. But it did give everything a bit of an Indiana Jones vibe for a little while. And yeah, really good. Probably the best they've done since, as I said, The Lost World. And of course, Scarlett Johansson always makes a great action hero. And the dinosaurs are really interesting. And of course, when we get to the end, that mutant pops up. A lot of good action, a lot of back and forth, and of course, bad guy shows his true colors towards the end, and well, we all know he's going to get a comeuppance, but you'll have to see the movie to see how that happens. Yeah, big thumbs up, 2, as Ebert used to say. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.